Another fantastic day here in Phoenix to cap off what has been a beautiful weekend. Fourth round here of the Challenge of the Americas at the Phoenix Kart Racing Association facility here in Glendale. Junior Max drivers onto the racetrack to get things underway. The Rawlson Performance Group sponsored category to cap off the day, and we are looking for a good one. Stingray Rob will be on the pole position alongside Trey Brown. Row 2, yesterday's winner Nick Bruckner alongside Michael Mischoff. Row 3, Kellen Ritter and Zoe Edenholm. Row 4, Matthew Taskinen and Tony Breidinger. Row 5, Evan White and Max Hewitt. Row 6, Andy Breidinger and Max Fedler. Row 7, Dante Yu and Sophia Price. David Lavia starting alongside Sean Harmon on row 8. Stevie Pugsley Jr. not able to make the main, had to take off, get to a flight, so that'll put Cody Dempster and Jeff Fulham on road number 9. Drivers working their way down here, folks. Final race of the weekend here in Phoenix is green, green, green. Racing into one. We are all expecting to refire the battle we had yesterday between Stingray Rob and Nick Bruckner. Bruckner able to come out with the victory, and he now is into second. Bruckner second behind Stingray Rob. The battle is underway. Rob into the early lead. Trouble for one of the Breidingers here. 278 of Andy Breidinger got into some trouble. We'll see if she continues or heads to pit lane. No, she's going to keep racing. Nose going to that car. The fairing actually flattened down. So a little bit of contact in the opening couple of corners. Now that things are settled in, though, we are green and racing. Here comes Bruckner, a huge run. He'll go to the inside and turn number 10. Book it! Late move for Bruckner to the inside. Rob back on the inside at turn number 11. Okay, this is how we're going to do it. I like that. Racing hard from the very get-go. Wow, first time down the straightaway at speed. Bruckner from about 3 legs back throws it in there. He and Rob push up a little bit in the corner, but Rob expertly dives back down the inside in turn number 11 to retake the position. This has allowed Trey Brown to jump onto the rear bumper of Bruckner as well. There's absolutely no chance for a breakaway, as right now Brown goes back to the inside. Brown trying to take over the spot. Bruckner's going to try to get him coming through the kink. Who's going to lift? It's going to be Brown. Bruckner stays on the throttle. This has given Rob a bit of an advantage now. Stingray with probably about 0.3 of a second. Further back, Mischoff is going to make a move to the inside. Oh, somebody's getting punted off. One of the overdrive cars. I want to say that's the driver out of Canada, Taskinen. He got shuffled off the outside of the corner in turn number 11 into the gravel. He's able to continue after gathering it back up, but a tough one for him as he was running in the 6th position. Rob, your leader, 48.048 fast time last time by, and we are just underway. 2 laps down, 23 to go. Rob leads, Bruckner second, Brown third, Mischoff up to 4th. Zoe Edenholm runs in 5th, Kellen Ritter 6th, Tony Breidinger 7th, Max Hewitt, Max Fedler, and David Alavia rounding out the early top 10. Everybody kind of settling in now, a bit of a gap building between the drivers, the top 3, top 4. Let's see what happens on speed. Does Bruckner have anything to stay right now with Stingray Rob? He's 0.6 of a second back. After yesterday and that big victory, Nick Bruckner with a 32-point lead over Stingray. Bruckner's point totals in the 3 events, 110 in the opening race, 114 in the second race, and a full 120 yesterday. Swept the day with a qualifying, a pre-final win, main event win, and fast lap. Stingray Rob, a 109 in the opening round at Tucson, a 105 in round 2, and a 98 yesterday. So 98 stands at his lowest. He needs a big 120-pointer. Bruckner, though, with the fast lap right now, 47.860. Nick Bruckner and Stingray Rob, the 2 drivers to watch here as the top juniors in the Challenge of the Americas. But, man, Trey Brown has really come to the plate here to battle, has he not? Trey Brown on the podium yesterday, going to try to do it again here today. Currently running in the third position. He's got about 2 seconds back to Michael Mischoff, so he's comfortable in third. But Brown already looking forward to see if he can't challenge for the race win here. Bruckner with the quickest lap last time by, able to close up about 1/10 of a second on Rob. He resets fast time again, another 1/10 of a second quicker, 47.822. Brown goes his best lap, 47.915, quicker than Rob. So less than a second separating your top three. And again, a long way to go in this one. We don't need to get too crazy here in the opening 5 laps because there's 20 more to go. It's a full 25-lap distance here for the Junior Max drivers. Again, this category brought to you by Rollison Performance Group. Some big wins here today to change the championship chase. John Crow scoring the victory in that Rotax Masters category. Peyton Durant puts himself back in the hunt here in Minimax with a pretty big victory. Same goes for Mason Murata as he scores his first win. A lot of great stuff happening here. Diego Larac, though, he's the man to beat right now in Micromax. 4 wins on the year. Obviously, Diego in a great position. Then Matt Jaskell gets himself back in the fight, too. So this turning point weekend, round number 2, races 3 and 4 really have lived up to the promise that we hoped coming in here to Phoenix. We had some people step it up. It's going to change the way we look at Sonoma when we're there in just over a month's time. Stingray Rob leading by about 0.4 of a second now over Bruckner. Brown, third. Kellen Ritter has worked his way back up to 4th. What a great weekend for Kellen. Came in here feeling very under the weather. Had a rough day on Saturday, but a good night's sleep. A little bit of fluids, feeling a little bit better here today, and he's really stepping things back up to what we really saw out of him when he ran so well into the podium at Tucson. Kellen Ritter, the BBR driver, the number 299, now running in the 4th spot. Michael Mischoff right behind him, Zoe Edenholm, Max Hewitt, and Tony Breidinger. Max Fedler in there as well. Fedler having a pretty good run here in 9th. Remember, he started the pre-final from dead last, 19th, and Fedler now in the 9th position. Bruckner, another fast lap, 47.817. Back by just 0.3 of a second now. He's slowly inching his way closer to Stingray. Rob now with a quick lap, 47.808, so he's able to stretch the gap out a little more. Just over 0.3 of a second. And don't count out Trey Brown. He was actually quicker than Nick Bruckner. Top 3 drivers looking to fight it out for certain steps to the podium right now because they've got almost 2.5, actually over 2.5, almost 3 seconds on Kellen Ritter, who leads that next group of 5 drivers. 47.808 for Stingray Rob as he looks for the perfect weekend. Pole position, pre-main victory, main event win with a fast lap. 120 points up for grabs. Another fast lap for Stingray, 47.777. Almost a full 10th quicker than Bruckner. All right, now we're looking at getting into this halfway point here, starting to close on it. 11 down, 14 to go. Both Rob and Bruckner into the 47.7. They're now stretching away from Brown a little bit. 0.6 of a second back to Trey Brown. Another fast lap for Stingray, though, a 0.5 tenth. Now 0.5 of a second out front, a 0.5 second advantage. Stingray Rob just keeps resetting the fast time. 47.698 this time. Bruckner continues to follow 47.724. He gets his fast lap as personal best, but not quite enough to challenge. Another maybe 1/4 of a tenth. 0.529 now the gap between first and second. Bruckner always closes near the tail of the long straightaway. But Rob seems to be a bit quicker through the infield. Take a look back at that battle for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Mischoff having a good run here. He's able to get by Ritter. So Mischoff now up into the 4th position. Ritter into 5th. Edenholm 6th. Max Hewitt's up into 7th. Breidinger in 8th position. A little further back to Jeff Fulham, David Alavia, and Max Fedler. Fulham started at the very tail of the field. He's done a good job working his way back up to 9th. Another fast lap laid down by Stingray Rob. He just keeps resetting the race's fast lap every time by the stripe. 47.682 this time. 0.625 now the gap between first and second. Both drivers 47.7s. Here goes Ritter, closing back up here on Mischoff. Tony Breidinger putting a lot of pressure on Max Hewitt, the 202, to try to find a way by. Hewitt's got a little bit of a gap here coming through 3, 4, and 5. Developed maybe 2 lengths. Little breathing room. It'll be 10 laps remaining next time by. The final event of round number 4 of this year's Challenge of the Americas here, Phoenix, Arizona. Perfect weather all weekend long. From here, we head to wine country, Sonoma, California, Sim Raceway Karting Center. And that fantastic kart track, great layout, great surface. It'll be awesome to challenge these drivers who want to go for the championship. And, of course, the 4 tickets to the grand finals. Another fast lap for Stingray. Last time by again, 47.601. This time Nick Bruckner, though, resets it. 47.571 or 561. Is this just a one-time thing, or are we going to see a little more of this? If Bruckner's car starts coming in here on lap number 9, he just gained almost 0.2 back, 0.6 of a second. Was it a one-off, or is the car starting to come in for Bruckner? We'll see lap times as they come back across here again. Rob in the 204 BBR entry. Both drivers turning 47.6 as Bruckner, if he wants anything to try to win this race. He has got to get quicker and quicker each session, each lap, rather. Also, a good little fight between a couple of the comp kart drivers, 8th and 9th right now. David Alavia and Max Hewitt going at it. Alavia able to get by into the 8th position. Michael Mishoff in the 220. Cosmic just turned his fast lap of 48.038. That's giving him a little bit of breathing room from Kellen Ritter. He's about a half a second out front there. Laps now winding down. It'll be 7 to go here for Stingray Robb. He and Bruckner embroiled in a solid battle. Trey Brown right there as well. Bruckner just lost 0.2 of a second, went down to a 47.8. Good fight here again for the 5th position. Good pass there. Zoe Edenholm goes by Ritter for 5th. Ritter into the back of her, though. Contact, they're both together. Ritter's rolling backwards on the racetrack, coming out of turn number 3. He'll get it righted and back around. So contact between Edenholm and Ritter into turn number 3. Ritter got in the back of Edenholm. We were actually just keying on that battle. Happened right in front of one of the assistant race directors out there. Ritter all over the rear bumper, pushing Edenholm into the corner. The contact actually ended up sending Ritter around, so the contact backfired on Kellen Ritter. He ended up going backwards and falling all the way down to 13th position, maybe even further. He's going to end up in 14th spot. Good fight further back. We're seeing if Edenholm can get herself back into the fight here. Edenholm back into the 8th position. She had moved her way up into 5th. Rob, your leader now by 1.2 seconds as he's just stretching away by about 1/10 of a second a lap here with 5 to go. Nick Bruckner with the fast lap, though. That may come in handy when it comes to the championship, using that 5-lap bonus. Trey Brown in 3rd, Michael Mishoff 4th, Jeff Fulham in 5th spot. David Alavia now runs 6th, Max Fedler 7th, Zoe Edenholm in 8th, Tony Breidinger and Evan White rounding out the top 10. We're not done with this battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th, though, are we? Jeff Fulham now runs in 5th. I want to say that's the 332 of Alavia now. The 232, rather, of Alavia into 6th. Max Fedler, 7th. Looks like Zoe Edenholm heading into pit lane. We were watching on there whether or not there was an issue with her radiator, possibly from the contact with Ritter. Might have ripped off the radiator cap. Three laps remaining in this one. So Edenholm falling out of the top 10 after a solid run that could have been a top 5. That's got Fulham now into 5th, Alavia 6th, Fedler 7th, Tony Breidinger up into 8th, Evan White now into 9th, and Dante Yu in 10th spot. So it looked like Nick Bruckner may have a little something for Stingray Robb there midway through as he turned that fast lap, a 47.561. It still stands as the fast lap. But right now, 1.118, the gap between 1st and 2nd, as Stingray Robb sees the 2 to go sign. 2 laps remaining. Wow. Bruckner back down to a 47.589. Just 0.02 of a second off his fast lap. Second back, though. He had to do that on a consistent basis. Once he got down to 47.7s, he had to hit those every time if he wanted to catch back up with Stingray. Now the 1 second advantage is going to give him the opportunity here to go to almost a perfect weekend. Bruckner grabbing those 5 points could be crucial when we head to Sonoma, as he was able to steal those away from Stingray. Now, we're not done yet. Stingray could lay one down, but as it stands, the 5-point bonus looks at Bruckner. 1 lap remaining. Both drivers turning 47.6s. Folks, final lap on the racetrack. Last lap. This 4th round of the Challenge of the Americas here for 2015. Stingray Rob looking to come back. A big victory for Bruckner yesterday, but Rob's looking to get one here today. It won't be a challenge coming down the back chute, as he's just got to drive it home here now. The BBR Karting Tony Kart entry of Stingray Rob, number 204, through turns number 10. This championship is going to be tight going to Sonoma. Through 11, into 12. Your winner today in Junior Max, Stingray Rob. Nick Bruckner takes second. Trey Brown in third. Another podium finish for the young junior rookie. Great drive here for Michael Mischoff up into fourth. Fifth is Jeff Fulham from dead last on the grid. Fulham goes to 5th position. Michael Alavia gets the 6th spot. Good run there for Alavia. He goes to P6. Max Fedler in 7th. Tony Breidinger 8th. Evan White in 9th. And Dante Yu rounding out the top 10. For Stingray Rob, a huge day here. Qualifies on the pole, wins the pre-main, and wins the main event. The only little blemish is the fact that Bruckner was able to score the fast lap of the race, a 47.561. Those are 5 bonus points that Bruckner is going to covet when he heads to Sonoma in the middle of March. Big weekend, folks, for both Bruckner and Rob. They'll go back to the podium, as will Trey Brown, as it's Rob, Bruckner, and Brown, 1, 2, 3 in Junior Max. Folks, that is capping things off from today here in Phoenix. We had some amazing racing. The senior drivers turned it back up for us. That was what we were looking for, the same kind of hardcore action we saw in Tucson, and we got to see it here today, which was exciting. Mason Murata, of course, with a huge victory. A lot of new winners as well. As we said, Matt Jasko was able to score a victory. John Crow steps up to put himself back in the championship. Of course, Peyton Durant scores his first Mini-Max win as well. Just a lot of great racing, a lot of great winners here today. Stingray Rob and Diego Larac, victors as well. Good day today. Just one red flag, nobody hurt. That's what we always want to see. We want to make sure everybody's safe and have some great racing, and we had that here today. Folks, great job by our corner workers and all the staff here of the Challenge of the Americas as well. We do want to thank BBR Karting for being the primary sponsor of our broadcast here this weekend. Thank you very much to the Choker family from BBR Karting for being our partner here in Phoenix. And folks, on behalf of Andy Saisman, the full staff here at the Challenge of the Americas, David Cole and myself, Rob Howden, thank you so much for tuning in to another EKN Live broadcast. We'll be live once again in Sonoma on March 11th to 13th.